Hello, beloved. Welcome to this podcast. It's been a while since I've done a private podcast, and this is going to be quick and it's going to be dense and it's going to be quite important as we continue to shift from chaos to order in this world. And so, first, I want to say that if you really understand the essence of who you are at your core, nestled at the center of your most ordinary moments, even though there may be uncertainty in your life or in the world, that your inner mystic, your inner core essence of your soul dynamic energy is poised for this very moment. It is poised for intimate encounters with the divine. And so I set up this podcast episode to really shine a light on why is it that we've felt the way that we've felt our entire lives. I went to bed last night asking Spirit, where in this quote unquote, the term that people use, matrix, in which I correlate to the curse on mankind, why is it the mind and the body feels like it's in this feedback loop? Like it gets up the same day, does the same thing, has a little bit of growth, and then goes back to the same day in, day out. And there's so many pieces to this, but what Spirit really brought through was the basics of understanding our technology. And I'm not talking about AI. I'm not talking about your computer. I'm not talking about anything of that such. I'm talking about your subtle body, your etheric body, the astral body, the frequency and the technology of what and who we are. And as I've tapped into and my psychic clairs have flown open and my intuitive guidance sessions have started out in the ether as I've come out of the closet, the Akashic records, which is the essence of your soul. It is the library, so to speak, of all the ancient wisdom that you bestow. And whether it is a psychic reading or an Akashic record reading, or it's you at midnight reading online and Spirit hits you with something so profound that it just changes your trajectory of a belief, it starts in the nervous system. So I'm going to come through some framing that when we think about the technology of the spirit, we think about the body that we're in, and we think about the matrix and the nefarious and the dark. Now, keep in mind when I talk about that, understand that is crumbling. Also understand the intelligence that I tap into is a promise to you that there is bounty ahead. So hold that hope. So as we move forward in this world where we really do live in a digital overwhelm, we live in a world where in our own mind, we have to really be present with the critical thoughts that we have. And it is a full-time job of just making sure that we're out of judgment, we're present. And that is happening in a quickening process. So I wanted to clarify where we've been, the technology that we can tap into with the nervous system, and the hope for the future spiritually. Now, when you think about the digital overwhelm, perhaps you're an entrepreneur, think about just alone, or as a consumer, the pain point marketing and how that whole essence of marketing, even that is starting to die. I see my clients' emails that have 300 emails. They don't even read them. And I, more than anything, unsubscribe to anything and everything that doesn't bring me joy and consistency of a higher knowledge that is going to bring me to a higher awareness. So as I transition to offering intuitive guidance sessions with clients, it is really important as spirit comes in to share about how we all can regulate our nervous system and how we can notify where we feel off, from everything from a pain point, icky marketing email to whatever that is for you, of all the tactics that have been used on us for so long, even word, right? Go back to childhood, the spells and the words, spelling contest. It's a spelling, it's spell, right? It's a contest. Or cursive. When you were young, you would write in cursive. It's a curse. So when we start to extract, you start to see a world in a dynamic way that you can no longer see the way that you once did. And in contrast, creating a richer relationship with, for instance, with my guides, as I rework my marketing connected to my divine purpose in that deeper relational way, where I actually get quiet and don't just pull from the freebie email sequence that somebody throws you. I am seeing, and I already see a new chapter, even for entrepreneurs that are spiritual entrepreneurs, that are light workers, that are going to be ushering in the creative design and the community design to cultivate a new genre of business by understanding respect out of safety and autonomy, and giving the power to the person on the other side, empowering them. And this is really came through in a lot of my psychic readings. If you're an alchemist of light and you're offering intuitive services, the number one goal and focus is to put our clients in the seat of their power. So I want to share how we can start to imagine integrating. And if you're on a journey, and I invite you to invite your spirit guides into your own life. This is where we're at. Spirit is heaven on earth. We're taking the heavens that are coming down and we are ascending up. And how we can tap into our guides' support to create richer, more authentic paths, not only through our healing, but as we find new meaning in our life's work, that we are not alone. And when you tap into asking for guidance and being quiet and finding your own way that you hear, it will light up your life. It will become so magnetic and just so satiating to be in spirit. So in order to do, we have to be able to learn how to shift through our nervous system. Now, as someone that is, I'm going to be honest, a workaholic, someone that loves her work, I've always said the salon and spa and creating healing experiences and products has been like wearing my right glove. It's always fit perfectly. And my left glove, I've been trying different things on my whole life, from functional medicine and hypnotherapy and all these things. But when I tapped into and spirit brought through, now is the time that you offer your psychic intuitive guidance. I'm wearing both my gloves. You have two gloves. And it may be one thing, but it will feel so natural to you. And in order to feel what those gloves feel like, we have to embody, and that starts in the nervous system. So our nervous system is constantly reacting to the world, just like it reacts to a pushy sales pitch. So when we understand the system, it's key to ourselves. It's key to understanding how our guides are bringing information through, how it feels. But what if we look beyond that one size fits all solution and really understood that there are 3 different triggers to the nervous system? And what's happening is that we're trying to pull in the psychology of the world and understand things through polyvagal. But this is not a psychological problem of why we're off, why people have ADHD, why people have a DSM, some kind of classification of a mental illness. It is a spiritual problem. And so what's happening is that the old systems that are dying and healing, where we're trying to align with the past and the present and the future, The healing map and the roadmap has to be seen in three zones: the past, the present, and the future. And so when we can ask our guides to help us navigate all three of these, we can start to release the pressure and shame and guilt of not feeling like you're great all the time, because you're not going to be. The beauty is when we can understand what gear we are in within our nervous system. And our guides can offer insights into the past experiences that may be impacting your present. And our guides can help you move towards the future aligned with your highest timeline. I will say with a caveat, as a trauma-informed hypnotherapist and done a lot of trauma work with clients, it is really important that you have support as you start this process. That you have someone to co-regulate with. So through the lens of understanding the nervous system, through my spirit guides' perspective, our nervous system is like a traffic light. Okay, so the green light is safe, we're connected, we feel good, we feel clear in our mind, we feel safe in our body. This is the zone of growth. This is the zone of where we're in joy. And this is where our guides can really be with us and open new doors. They can show us more expansion. And this is where I step in, and my goal is to bring clients to this green zone where you feel empowered. Now, the yellow, right? The yellow light is that fight or flight. So think of it like a ladder. The top is green, the middle is yellow. And this is where the nervous system starts to react to stress. This is where most people live. This is where the confusion creeps in, the second guessing creeps in, the stress in the body is making you tired, that it's hard to hear from our guides, right? If they can support you, this is where they can support you, is to identify the triggers and to navigate those moments. Now, this is where I would bring in the Akashic records, where I would bring a client in and say, okay, masters, teachers, loved ones, angels, and guides, show us where in the nervous system, where there is stagnancy, maybe where there's a holographic trauma in the etheric body, which is like a little disc that's attached to a larger. So if you get one little piece of that trauma, it unlocks and releases a lot of other traumas. So this is where I would maybe invite the guides in to help us identify those triggers and navigate those moments. And then the red is when we're shut down, right? This is our zone of overwhelm. This is our zone of anxiety and depression, where the body is shut down because the nervous system just can't handle anymore. And this is where we really need one-on-one support. This is where I would absolutely bring someone in and really work through longer-term healing. And we just titrate between yellow and red, and we just move up, and it can happen quicker than you'd ever believe. But I want to share with you, and I want to encourage you to start responding with your guides' perspective. Ask for them and how they can offer support and compassion to help you move towards this zone of safety. Now, they can't force you into a green zone, but by allowing their presence to be with you, by understanding your triggers and working with your guides, you can spend more time feeling safe and empowered. You can feel more time being seen from the divine. You are a mystical essence. And this is the everyday mystic lifestyle. Now, many people seek therapy when they actually, again, like I noted, need spiritual direction. So the key difference here is that focused on therapy is uncovering root problems. You're talking about them, you're re-triggering them. Now, therapy has helped a lot of people, but it's a top-down situation. Versus going straight to source, going straight to the light, saying, can we shine a light on this? Can you help me understand the perspective from my soul's point of view, the dynamic energy, and what we're really doing if we get down to the crux of it, especially in the Akashic records, is that trauma is a lack of motion. It is a lack of motion in awareness. So as clients come in to a session, what I'm supporting them do and bringing spirit in is that the reading is to help ignite others' awareness of their soul. And going back to the nervous system, society, and all the things, and the triggers and the old way of marketing, all these things are going back to that red zone, yellow, red, where we are meant to live in the green. So when we ignite the soul, now I want to say that there is no soul blueprint. That's not a thing. It's not true. People use the term. You do have a soul contract, which you make by choice. There's no blueprint for you. There's only choice. And choice can only be out of awareness. So when we're in awareness, we can shift, right? We open the door to seeing what else is there. We open the door to seeing that there is or is not motion, possibly where we're expecting it. And that's the aha. That's the beauty of sitting with our guides or moving into an Akashic reading, which is really looking at the soul's point of view from maybe ancient mother or at a broader view, a little bit more of a healing perspective. So as a reader, what I'm offering is a container and a source of the motion outside of our static view of the limited understanding or the linear lens. But we're moving that into a dynamic experience so that we can see the perspective in a non-judgmental way of all that is. Because that is all there is. There is just what is. It's dynamic, it's moving, it's shifting all the time. So it's really about receiving this opportunity to shift the awareness and move that awareness from place to place where they or you, the client, can start to understand where balance is for you. And balance is nothing more than a state of a pendulum. So we're always going to be measuring the balance. And where you are in your belief is the state you're in on either side of the pendulum, which is to come back into balance, to hold a place in the nervous system that is in that yellow-green where you're safe. So what's happened is that the matrix, negative part of the matrix, there's a positive side, has put us into incarnation feedback loop, where we come back again and they feed off of our energy. And this is the point of the podcast, is that if we can't operate our own technology, meaning our nervous system, our mind, and what we're connected to, the divine, then we are holding ourselves back from moving into where the essence is held, where essence of our motion, which inspires our emotion and call us into that higher place, to being part of that flow with intention and choice, where that trauma is a place of energy where there's no motion, the red zone, moving out of the psychology of it and moving into the divine mystic that you are. That healing sets the energy back into flow to bring that harmony to the etheric body, just 5 different bodies, mental body, emotional body, astral body. And it brings us back to a balance with and a balance within, and a power with and a power within, so that we see each other as equals. So we can't be in this survive and thrive at the same time. They're 2 fundamental different ways of being, 2 distinct forms of embodied consciousness, 2 realms, I should say. So if you cannot be in this survive and thrive at the same time, because you're perceiving something as a threat and your nervous system pops into that fight or flight, your body is simply switching to an entirely different operating system than where the benevolent, than where our spirit guides want to live with us and be with us. So the biological mechanisms of that survival mode that shuts off is shutting off the very essence of our soul flourishing. And this is why I'm sharing that it is really important as we move forward in this world, as everything starts crumbling down, that we have support around us, that as the old capitalism, the old hierarchy systems existed and are crumbling, that we can create safe conditions of what was unsafe that put us into that constant state of nervous system activation. And I know this through experience. This is how I found my road back to a deeper relationship with my guides. Because if I am in a fluttery place, if I'm anxious, if I'm worried about the future or getting it right or imperfectionism, I'm moving back into red. And that's survival consciousness. That's the programming. That's the system. So it's not to get mad at it. It's just to observe it. No judgment. But you got to deal with it and you got to confront it. And when we're in that survival mode, we're rationally thinking. We're in the regions of our brain that shut off, which has made it hard to see any of these lies that we've been believing for centuries more clearly. And these are lies that we participate in every day without even realizing we're giving consent. These lies live in our bodies until we root them out one by one. As a personal note, my personal story, I got really good at surviving. Doubled down, hyperfunction, proved my worth through overachieving, denied my own need of my body, took big risks, lost $1 million in somebody else's investment, but denied to invest in myself. And I worked really hard. And I won. And my prize ushered me into the survival realm and into the where I'm going now is the flourishing realm. So I realized that is the curse. And I am here, and my mission is to lift the curse on mankind with you by my side. I need you by my side. So my life has transformed more in the last 4 months than in my entire life. And the mechanics of the hard work, the hustle, the struggle, the scarcity, the nonstop nervous system regulation has brought me back into ease. It's brought me back into the silent joy, which is being in essence in the mystical realm of just being in the energy with my guides and realizing that life is a state of belonging. And finding that back in myself is what has allowed me and my players and my psychic abilities to blast open. So I just wanted to share this with you because you have the same power, and I'm sure you have somewhat of the same story. And then again, it's not psychological, it's spiritual. And if we can attune our soul with the higher realms, we tap into those mystical experiences. It lights up the energy body. And that is expansion, that is ascension. And it's into that sacred and holy place that we are drawing others into this awe-inspiring moments that we have because it lights you up. You believe it's possible for you because it is. And it starts in the nature of our nervous system that is regulated by nature itself because you are nature. We are the cosmos. We're literally the essence of the ocean put into 3D form. So we are in itself organic mysticism. And I guarantee you, all of these traditional religious beliefs, these churches, all of these are going to be artifacts. They are going to be museums in the near future. They are no longer going to suffice as humanity enters this new era of galactic understanding. My galactic team, I call them, and where I go is into the war room. We've renamed it. It's the House of Love. Because the galactic has been protecting and fighting for us for a very long time. And we would not be at this pinnacle moment, understanding that we're going to nurture our nervous system, connect to the divine, become the mystic, and understand the elementals so that we can usher in with Ancient Mother this new age and era where you will not wake up and feel like you're just doing the same shit again. Sorry. You can choose that, but you can also choose another thing. And so asking about our life's purpose, really, my friends, is akin to a prayer. It's holy, and it is for guidance and meaning of what we've been craving. The mysteries of God have been revealed. And in the past, that survival was that main focus. And today, I am so grateful for you that you chose to incarnate on this planet at this time. And as we contemplate our individual journey, may you offer it as a prayer to the holy. And may you ask, why am I here? And this will transform you. And this will bring you into alignment with your guides. It will bring you into alignment with your angels and loved ones that have been protecting you for millennia. It is a prayer of seeking guidance, but it is a prayer back to yourself. And all prayers are answered with our guides alongside us. They are benevolent beings and they operate at a frequency of love. So all they can do is share their love, even if the answer isn't what we expect. Many people don't realize their questions about purpose are just actually prayers. They're prayers that can lead to the transformative experiences, both challenging and positive. And I'll leave on a story. Last night, one of my dear clients lost her husband to cancer, very fast, hospice. In fact, I've lost a cousin to suicide. My good friend's son committed suicide. People exiting the earth. And I want to say, as this continues to happen in that 3D density, I want to offer up respect and honor to those individuals. I honor your pain, but as I sat with my friend, my client, and I said, hey, your life partner is so happy. And we laughed so hard because he was such a little shit. He was a stinker. I'm not going to go into stories, but this, I'm telling you, if I had that as a husband, I'd be like, boy, you're fucking going out to the man cave. But I could feel his essence in a different place. And even though he's still joking and I can feel him right now, he's laughing. Even though he's in a different place, he still has a joyful, conniving, kind of fun personality, but he can only operate at a high frequency of love because that is where he's returned. So as you think of those that we've lost, those that we will lose, understand that if we carry that love, it'll be much easier and faster to tap into the message they have for you. Because that is all that is left for us is unity and love. As we come in out of the suppression of the nervous system, as we light up the magnetics of our etheric and energetic body, as we no longer deny ourselves and feel demeaned, but we stand in our power with and power within. But the key is to be honest with ourselves about what we want to pursue, the path of not seeking validation from others or try to avoid conflict, but to really understand that our guides got us. They got you. To remember the nervous system, that it has 3 functions, green, yellow, red, and we're on our way up, all the way up. I don't know that song. It's a rap song, and I don't do rap, but that's what I wanted to share with you. There's so much hope, and I look forward to sharing more podcasts in the coming week. And just want to share with all of you, appreciate you, I adore you. And if you need any support, please do reach out. There are 2 ways that we can be of service of you, my guides and your guides, and you. It's a 30-minute call with 30-minute psychic reading, or you can also choose a 1-question email. So there you are, my friends, sending you all my love. Know that spiritual guidance, divination, the mystical essence of all that you are is not a mystery. It's all here for you. And we can transform this trauma. And that's really what I'm here, an ascension guide, a pure light conduit to really help you reconnect with the I am presence and activate your own ascension by feeling safe in your nervous system and transforming yourself through the nervous system up into the higher realms. Because I'm telling you, the brighter you shine, the brighter all of us become. So if your intention is to experience that divinity within and use it to transform your life, I'm honored to serve you on this journey, working with spirit, channeling the guidance, and bringing it to you so you can do the same for yourself and others. All my love, all my light.